When I look around today, I see something very interesting. Everyone has a smartphone. Everyone has internet. Everyone can access any information they want in 3 seconds. And yet, I meet more confused people today than I met 20 years ago. Isn't that strange? Let me tell you something. Right now, at this very moment, there are 10,000 people telling you what to do. Buy this crypto, learn this AI tool, follow this trend, do this, do that. Tomorrow, there will be 10,000 different people telling you 10,000 different things. And the day after, same story. So here's my question for you. When everybody is shouting, "Who are you listening to?" I started my business with nothing. No money, no technology, no connections. But I had something very valuable. I had focus. I had the ability to say no to almost everything so I could say yes to the one thing that mattered. Today, in 2026, this skill is not just valuable. It's absolutely critical. It's survival. Look, I'm not against technology. I love technology, but technology is a tool. A hammer is a tool. You can use a hammer to build a house, or you can use it to break things. The hammer doesn't care. Social media doesn't care. AI doesn't care. These things are neutral. The question is, are you using them, or are they using you? I see young people spending 5 hours a day watching other people's lives on screens. 5 hours? Do you know what you can build in 5 hours a day? In 1 year, that's 8 or 25 hours. That's enough time to master a skill, build a business, transform your life. But instead, people are watching someone else dance, someone else travel, someone else succeed. This is what I call digital noise. It's everywhere. It sounds important. It feels urgent. But most of it means nothing for your future, nothing. The winners in 2026 and beyond, they won't be the people who know everything. They'll be the people who know what to ignore. They'll be the people who can filter signal from noise. They'll be the people who understand that focus is not about doing more things. Focus is about doing the right things and having the courage to ignore everything else. You want to know the secret? There is no secret. There's only discipline. There's only clarity. There's only the decision you make every single day. Will I let the digital world control my attention, or will I control it? I'm not here to give you easy answers. I'm here to ask you hard questions. What are you building that will matter in 5 years? What are you learning deeply instead of skimming superficially? What relationships are you nurturing beyond the screen? These are the questions that lead to real growth. The opportunity today is bigger than it's ever been, but so is the distraction. The noise is louder than ever, and that means the people who can cut through it, the people who can focus like a laser on what truly matters, they will win big. Not just a little bit. Big. So today, we're going to talk about how to build your focus filter, how to decode the noise, how to find true growth in a world that's designed to keep you distracted. Because I believe this, if you can master your attention in 2026, you can master your future. Look, let me tell you something that sounds crazy, but it's absolutely true. Right now, in your pocket, you have access to more information than the greatest library in ancient Alexandria. You can learn anything. You can connect with anyone. You can access the knowledge of 10,000 experts in 10 seconds. This should make us the smartest, most capable generation in human history. But what's happening instead? People are more paralyzed than ever before. I meet entrepreneurs every day who tell me they can't start their business because they need to learn more. They need to read one more book, watch one more course, understand one more trend. They're drowning in information but starving for wisdom. They know 1,000 things but can't do one thing well. This is the paradox we're living in. You see, our grandparents, they didn't have this problem. When they wanted to learn something, information was scarce. It was valuable. They had to work hard to find one good book, one good teacher. And when they found it, they studied it deeply. They practiced it completely. They mastered it. Today, we collect information like we're shopping at a supermarket. We put everything in our cart, but we never cook the meal. The internet promised us freedom through knowledge. And yes, technically, we have all the knowledge. But nobody told us about the cost. The cost is confusion. The cost is overwhelm. The cost is decision fatigue. Every day you're making hundreds of micro decisions about what to read, what to watch, what to believe, what to ignore. Your brain is exhausted before you even start working on what matters. And here's what makes it worse. The algorithms, the social media platforms, they're designed by the smartest engineers in the world to keep you clicking, scrolling, consuming. They don't care about your goals. They care about your attention. Because attention is money. Your confusion is profitable for someone else. I'll tell you something I learned the hard way. More information doesn't make better decisions. More information often makes worse decisions. Because when you have too many options, too many opinions, too many directions, you freeze. You become afraid to choose. You become afraid to commit. You keep researching, keep learning, keep preparing, but you never actually start building. The people who succeed today, they're not the ones who know the most. They're the ones who can filter the best. They're the ones who can say, this information is useful for my goal, and this information is just noise. They're ruthless about protecting their mental space. They understand that in a world of infinite information, clarity is the ultimate competitive advantage. And clarity doesn't come from consuming more. It comes from filtering better, thinking deeper, and acting decisively on what truly matters for your journey. You know what I see everywhere today? People running. Running so fast. Busy, busy, busy. They wake up at 5 in the morning. They work 16 hours. They're always in meetings, always on calls, always doing something. And they feel very proud because they're moving fast. But here's the problem. They're running in the wrong direction. Let me give you an example. I know someone who spent 3 years building a business in a market that was already dying. He worked so hard. Weekends, nights, holidays. Very impressive effort. But the direction was wrong from day one. 3 years later, the business failed. Now compare that to someone who spent 1 month researching, thinking, and planning, then spent 3 years building in the right market. Who do you think succeeded? Speed without direction is just expensive exercise. This is what happens in 2026. Everyone is obsessed with speed. Launch fast, scale fast, fail fast, 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 fast. The startup culture tells you to move quickly and break things. Social media rewards whoever posts first, not who thinks deepest. Everyone is celebrating speed like it's the only thing that matters. But nobody is asking, are we going the right way? I'll tell you something. When I started, people laughed at me because I was slow. They said, Jack, you're too careful. You think too much. Just do it. But I wanted to understand the direction first. Where is the internet going? What do customers really need? What can we build that will matter in 10 years, not just 10 days? Yes, I moved slower at the beginning, but I moved in the right direction. And because of that, later I could move very fast because I knew where I was going. The problem with moving fast in the wrong direction is this: the faster you go, the further you get from where you need to be. And when you finally realize you're lost, you have to spend twice the time coming back. All that speed becomes waste. All that effort becomes regret. Think about it. Would you rather spend 1 year going the right direction at moderate speed, or spend 5 years running very fast in circles? The answer is obvious. But in real life, people choose the circles because it feels like progress. It looks productive. You're sweating, you're tired, you're busy. But busy doesn't mean effective. This is why focus is more important than speed. Focus means you stop, you think, you ask the hard questions. What is my real goal? Is this activity taking me closer or just keeping me busy? Am I building something meaningful or just chasing the latest trend? These questions slow you down for a moment, but they save you years of wasted effort. Because once you have the right direction, then you can run. Then speed becomes your friend, not your enemy. Every morning you wake up with a certain amount of energy, a certain amount of mental capacity, a certain amount of attention. Think of it like a battery. You have 100% when you wake up. Now, the question is, how are you spending this battery? Because once it's gone for that day. Here's what I see happening. Most people, they don't even drink their coffee yet, and already they've spent 30% of their battery. How? They check their phone. They see 20 notifications. Breaking news. Someone posted something. Someone commented. Someone liked. Their brain is already processing, reacting, feeling emotions about things that have nothing to do with their goals. By the time they sit down to do actual work, they're already tired. Let me be very clear about something. Your attention is not unlimited. It's not like water from a tap that keeps flowing. It's finite. It's precious. And in 2026, there are billion-dollar companies whose entire business model is stealing your attention. They hire psychologists, data scientists, designers, all working together to make you click one more time, scroll one more minute, watch one more video. They're very good at their job, and what's the cost to you? The cost is your dreams. The cost is your potential. The cost is the business you didn't build, the skill you didn't master, the relationship you didn't nurture, because you were too distracted by things that don't matter. I'll give you a simple calculation. If you spend just 2 hours a day on mindless scrolling, that's 14 hours a week. That's 60 hours a month. That's 730 hours a year. Do you know what you can do with 730 focused hours? You can learn a new language. You can build a product. You can read 50 books. You can transform your entire life. But instead, that time disappears into a black hole of other people's content, other people's opinions, other people's drama. The really dangerous part is this distraction doesn't feel like losing. It feels comfortable. It feels entertaining. Your brain gets little hits of dopamine with every notification, every like, every new piece of content. You feel like you're doing something, learning something, staying connected. But you're not. You're just consuming. And consumption without creation is just waste. Think about the most successful people you know, the ones who actually built something meaningful. Do you think they spend 3 hours a day watching random videos? Do you think they check their phone every 5 minutes? No, they protect their attention like it's gold. Because it is gold. It's the raw material of achievement. Every notification you respond to, every trending topic you chase, every rabbit hole you go down, you're making a choice. You're choosing someone else's priority over your own. You're renting out your attention to the highest bidder. And the price you pay is not measured in money, it's measured in the life you could have built but didn't. I see this everywhere now. People measuring their success by numbers on a screen. How many followers do I have? How many likes did I get? How many views? They post something and then they check every 5 minutes to see if the numbers went up. And if the numbers are good, they feel happy. If the numbers are bad, they feel depressed. Their entire self-worth is tied to metrics that mean absolutely nothing. Let me ask you something. If you have 1 million followers, but you haven't learned any real skill, haven't built any real value, haven't solved any real problem, what do you actually have? You have nothing. You have a number. And numbers without substance are just vanity. They look good on the surface, but there's nothing underneath. I meet young people who tell me, I want to be an influencer. Okay, fine. Influence people to do what? Buy things they don't need. Watch more content. Or are you influencing them to think differently, to build something, to improve their lives? There's a big difference. One is entertainment, the other is impact. Entertainment is temporary. Impact lasts. The problem with chasing these artificial metrics is that they're addictive. They give you quick feedback. You post something, you get immediate validation. It feels like progress. It feels like success, but it's not real growth. Real growth is uncomfortable. Real growth takes time. Real growth happens when nobody's watching, when there are no likes, no comments, no applause. You want to know what real growth looks like. It's the entrepreneur who spent 2 years building a product with no audience, no followers, just focus and hard work. It's the person who learned to code not to show off on social media, but to solve a real problem. It's the business owner who built genuine relationships with 50 customers, not fake connections with 50,000 followers. That's real. That's substance. Here's what nobody tells you about vanity metrics. They're designed to keep you on the platform. The platforms don't care if you're actually growing as a person or building something valuable. They care that you keep posting, keep engaging, keep coming back. Your addiction to validation is their business model. Every time you check those numbers, you're making someone else rich while wasting your potential. True growth, authentic growth, it's different. It's measured in skills you've mastered, problems you've solved, value you've created, people you've genuinely helped, money you've earned through honest work, respect you've gained through consistent quality. These things don't happen overnight. They don't go viral. They don't give you instant gratification. But here's the beautiful part. While everyone else is chasing likes and follows, you can be building real assets, real skills, real businesses, real relationships. And 5 years from now, when the algorithms change and the platforms die and all those vanity metrics disappear, you'll still have something valuable because you built it on substance, not on smoke and mirrors. You know what's interesting? We live in a world that celebrates learning everything. People brag about how many podcasts they listen to, how many newsletters they read, how they stay updated on every trend. They think this makes them smart. But I'll tell you something controversial. The most successful people I know are masters of ignorance. Strategic ignorance. Deliberate ignorance. What do I mean? I mean they consciously decide what now to pay attention to. They're not trying to know everything. They're trying to know the right things deeply. And to do that, they have to ignore almost everything else. This is not laziness. This is wisdom. Think about it practically. Every day, there are probably 500 things competing for your attention. New technologies, new trends, new opportunities, new problems, new dramas. If you try to pay attention to all of them, what happens? You pay attention to none of them properly. You become the person who knows a little bit about everything, but can't do anything meaningful with any of it. I learned this lesson the hard way. In the early days, I tried to chase every opportunity. Someone told me about this market. I looked at it. Someone mentioned that technology. I researched it. I was exhausted. And worse, I was making no real progress on my core business. Then I realized something powerful: saying no is more important than saying yes. Ignoring the noise is more valuable than listening to everything. Let me give you a concrete example. Right now, there's probably some new AI tool launching, some new social media platform emerging, some new cryptocurrency trending, some new business model everyone's talking about. The question is, does it matter for your specific goal? If you're building a restaurant, do you need to understand blockchain? If you're learning graphic design, do you need to follow every AI development? Probably not. But the fear of missing out is so strong. FOMO. Everyone's talking about it, so I should know about it too, right? Wrong. FOMO is the enemy of focus. FOMO makes you a consumer of trends instead of a creator of value. The courage to miss out, to deliberately ignore what everyone else is chasing, that's what separates winners from wanderers. Here's the hard truth: you cannot be excellent at everything. You cannot even be good at everything. You have limited time, limited energy, limited attention. So you must choose, and choosing means rejecting. It means saying, this might be interesting, but it's not relevant to my mission, so I'm going to ignore it. Most people lack this courage. They want to keep all options open. They want to stay informed about everything. And because of that, they master nothing. The discipline of selective ignorance means you build filters, strong filters. You decide in advance what deserves your attention and what doesn't. You create rules. You protect your focus like a fortress. Because in 2026, with infinite information available, the ability to ignore intelligently is not just helpful. It's absolutely essential for anyone who wants to achieve something significant. Every few months, there's a new thing everyone must do. Last year it was this year it's that, next year it'll be something else. Crypto, NFTs, the metaverse, AI agents, whatever comes next. And every time I see the same pattern. People drop everything they're doing and jump on the new trend. They abandon their systems, their principles, their long-term plans because they're afraid of being left behind. Let me tell you what happens to these people. They spend 3 months learning the new thing. They invest money, time, energy. They tell everyone they're doing it. Then the trend changes, and they jump again. And again. 5 years later, what do they have? Nothing. They've been very busy, very active, but they built nothing permanent. They're like a farmer who keeps digging new wells, but never digs deep enough to find water. Now compare that to someone who builds a system, a real system. They identify a fundamental principle that doesn't change. Maybe it's creating value for customers. Maybe it's building trust through consistency. Maybe it's mastering a craft deeply. They build their daily habits around this principle. They build their business processes around it. They build their entire approach around it. And then, when trends come and go, they're still there, getting stronger, going deeper. I'll give you a simple example. Marketing trends change every year, but the principle of understanding your customer and solving their real problem, that never changes. So you can waste your time jumping from Facebook ads to TikTok to whatever comes next, or you can build a system for deeply understanding customers and communicating value. The platforms change, but your system remains. This is what people don't understand about sustainable growth. Trends give you quick wins. Maybe, if you're lucky, if you're early. But systems give you compounding returns. Every day you follow your system, you get a little bit better, a little bit stronger, a little bit more skilled. This compounds. In 1 year, you're twice as good. In 5 years, you're 10 times as good. In 10 years, nobody can compete with you, but the person chasing trends. In 10 years, they've chased 50 different things and mastered nothing. They're still at the starting line, just older and more tired. Here's what I want you to understand. Fads are exciting. Systems are boring. Fads get attention on social media. Systems don't make good content. Fads make you feel like you're moving fast. Systems make you actually move forward. The choice seems obvious, but most people choose wrong because they're addicted to the excitement. Building systems requires patience. It requires discipline. It requires the confidence to do the same thing every day, even when it's not trendy, even when nobody's talking about it, even when there's no immediate reward. But this is exactly what creates lasting success. Not jumping on waves, but building foundations. Not following crowds, but following principles that have worked for decades and will work for decades more. Here's something that worries me. I see people with 3,000 friends online, but they feel lonely. They have video calls, but no real conversations. They get hundreds of messages, but nobody really knows them. We're more connected than ever in history, but somehow we're more isolated than ever. Something is very wrong here. Technology was supposed to bring us together, and in some ways it did. I can talk to someone on the other side of the world instantly. Amazing, but what's the cost? The cost is that we forgot how to be together when we're actually together. You go to a restaurant, you see a family sitting at one table, and everyone is looking at their phone. They're physically together but mentally separated. This is not connection. This is loneliness in a crowd. Let me tell you what I've learned. Real relationships, meaningful relationships, they require presence. Not just physical presence, mental presence, emotional presence. When you're with someone, really with them, not checking your phone every 2 minutes, not thinking about your next post, not half listening while scrolling, that's when connection happens. That's when trust builds. That's when real understanding develops. But social media taught us the opposite. It taught us that relationships are about quantity, not quality. It taught us that connection means liking someone's post. It taught us that communication means sending emojis. This is fake connection. It's empty calories for your soul. It feels like something, but it nourishes nothing. And creativity, same problem. I see people using AI to write everything, to design everything, to create everything. They think this makes them more productive. But what are they actually producing? Content without soul, work without thought, creation without creativity. The tools are doing the thinking, and the human is just pressing buttons. Don't misunderstand me. I'm not against using technology. Use it, but use it to amplify your human capabilities, not to replace them. Use AI to handle the boring tasks so you can focus on the creative thinking. Use social media to start conversations that continue in real life. Use video calls to maintain relationships, but make time for face-to-face meetings when it matters. Here's the test I use. After you use a piece of technology, ask yourself, am I more human or less human? Did this tool help me think deeper, create better, connect more meaningfully? Or did it make me more shallow, more distracted, more isolated? If it's the second one, you're using technology wrong. The future belongs to people who can use technology without losing their humanity. People who can leverage AI without losing their creativity. People who can use social platforms without losing real relationships. People who understand that technology is a tool to enhance human connection and human creation, not a substitute for it. Because at the end of your life, nobody will remember your follower count or how many AI tools you used, but they will remember how you made them feel and what you created with your own mind and heart. You know what kills most dreams? Impatience. People want everything now. They want success now. They want results now. They want transformation now. They see someone successful and they think, I want that life. But they don't want the 10 years of struggle that came before it. They just want the highlight reel. This is the biggest lie of social media. It shows you the ending without the journey. You see the luxury car, but you don't see the 7 years of sleeping in a small apartment. You see the successful business, but you don't see the 3 failures that came before. You see the overnight success, but you don't see the 10 years of nights. And so people think success should come quickly, and when it doesn't, they quit. Let me tell you something about real transformation. It's slow, it's boring, it's repetitive. You do the same thing today that you did yesterday, and tomorrow you'll do it again, for months, for years. No viral moments, no dramatic breakthroughs. Just showing up every single day and doing the work. This is not sexy, this is not exciting, but this is what works. I started my business in my apartment, very small, very humble. People said, Jack, when will you be big? I said, I don't know, maybe 5 years, maybe 10 years. They laughed. They wanted quick results. But I understood something they didn't. If you plant a tree today, you don't get fruit tomorrow. You water it, you protect it, you wait. And maybe in 5 years, maybe in 10 years, you get fruit. But if you keep digging it up to check if it's growing, it dies. The problem with instant gratification is that it trains your brain wrong. Every time you get something instantly, your brain expects everything instantly. You check your phone, instant dopamine. You order food, instant delivery. You want information, instant Google. Your brain forgets how to wait. It forgets how to work for something over time. It becomes like a child who cries when they can't have candy immediately. But anything worth having takes time. Mastering a skill takes years. Building a strong business takes years. Developing real relationships takes years. Creating wealth takes years. There are no shortcuts. There are no hacks. There's only consistent effort over a long period. Here's what I want you to understand. In 2026, everyone is playing the short game. They're chasing quick wins, fast money, instant fame. This is actually good news for you. Because if you're willing to play the long game, if you're willing to invest years when everyone else invests weeks, if you're willing to build slowly when everyone else wants to scale quickly, you have almost no competition. The long game is lonely at first. People don't understand what you're doing. They don't see results. They think you're wasting time. But 5 years from now, 10 years from now, when their quick wins have disappeared and you're still standing, still growing, still building, then they'll understand. Then they'll wish they had your patience.